So, yeah, WSB-TV, they indeed issued a retraction concerning that new segment that they aired the week prior. So they aired this September the 4th, which is exactly 1 week later, 7 days later after they aired that segment. So that aired on August the 28th. Just gonna read through it, share some of my thoughts, and we'll see how this goes. So, editor's note, last Friday we reported on a local man who claimed he regularly talked online with the gunman who murdered a reporter and photographer on live TV in Roanoke, Virginia. He said they got to know each other while playing games online for 3 years, and the killer, Vester Flanagan, talked about losing his job as a reporter and his anger at former co-workers. The man also said Flanagan, who used the name Bryce Williams on TV, supported the Gamergate community. He showed us a gaming profile for Bryce Williams. We had an onslaught of emails and calls from online gamers saying we've been duped. No shit. Among other things, they questioned that profile. So I have to kind of interrupt here. So, no, you know, of course, gamers question that profile. So concerning what that profile actually was the screenshot concerning Steam chat logs or just Steam communications, and you immediately just saw on the user profile that it has like level 1, and for someone who has been gaming through Steam for almost 3 years. That is very unusual, and it's not like if it is that hard to just not even Google, just to search the username and just to have a closer look at that profile, and just immediately notice that it's that this journalist at this station was completely and they utterly were trolled. They totally fell for this so-called this bogus anonymous gamer. But yeah, let's continue on. This week we asked a Georgia Tech scientist, who is also a gamer, to analyze the profile and other screenshots the man showed us. They had to go to a Georgia Tech scientist, who is also a gamer, to analyze the profile. I'm just, I'm, I'm just picturing, this stale laboratory, the guy wearing this the white coat and everything, and he's just looking over this through his on his computer screen, analyzing this profile to ensure whether it's real or not. I wonder if they even paid this person or. The expert scientist, remember? Our expert determined the profile had not been active long enough to support the man's claim he'd known Flanagan 3 years. He found problems with other screenshots, enough to conclude the man's stories were not true. Yeah, as a result, we are retracting the story. We apologize for any confusion it caused. King of Pole verified it. Yeah, this is just a clear example. How mainstream media that they have no idea how the internet apparently works. At least concerning certain topics like let's say video games, Steam, or Reddit even. Or even kind of Twitter. Not really, because most journalists actually are very active on Twitter. But I mean, they have to go. No, come on. I mean, let me just set it up why I'm laughing. These journalists or the station, they had to consult a Georgia Tech scientist, a scientist. That's what they're calling him. and they had to show him this Steam profile or account to analyze, just to see whether. And our expert determined the profile had not been active long enough. You know, don't any of these journalists or whoever reported or aired the segment that they have, like, I don't know, a nephew, whatever, a grandson, a child of their own, and they say, hey, you know, what's this Steam thing? You know, we have this profile, and can you just have this look at this and just say if this is legitimate or not, or are we getting pranked? You know, like, how hard would that have been? I mean, considering these days, like, most children, kids, they play Minecraft. Definitely, Counter-Strike is still very popular with teenagers. So, why would it have been that difficult to consult just a teenager, any gamer, to consult, to just ask the legitimacy of just to look over that Steam profile? But no, they had to go consult a Georgia Tech scientist who is also a gamer, as if that matters. To analyze that profile. You could just have gone. That person didn't even who they consulted. You could have consulted anybody who doesn't even need to have been a scientist, just a gamer, to just immediately just made the conclusion that profile was just just a Steam piling of crap. My God.
And at first I didn't realize who it was. It wasn't until they linked to Twitter and you're like, oh.
What was his name on the Gamergate?
It was like B-Will something something something. He didn't really use like a real alias like most people do. It was just like first initial, last part of his last name, and then some numbers like B-Willie 583 or something like that. He changed it frequently.
Did you know him by Bryce at all, or did you find it out after?
Yeah, well, he had told some people that his name was Bryce, but he mainly went by, and it was obviously kind of easy to figure out, what his last name was based off, that. But yeah, I knew that his name was Bryce, but
yeah,
it's just very hard to
fathom.
Stop being about video game ethics and journalism and more about like harassing people and like harassing women in video games and stuff like that. And it was kind of concerning to see Bryce be a part of that, that whole thing, just because of, what it had become. And, he, I know he quit his job like 2 years ago, but he would still frequently bring up people like Adam and Allison and just people that he worked with. And it was like, he seemed really angry. He just seemed very angry towards them, and it was kind of disturbing. Obviously I didn't, think he was going to do what he did, but it was very disturbing to see someone who seemed to have some real anger issues towards people to be part of a group that, was kind of about attacking people and harassing people, and it was very, very odd. And there's also this other guy who frequently bullied Bryce, I guess is the right way to say it. His name was Sam Hyde. He was a member of an online group called $1 Million Extreme, and they harassed him some, like on Twitter and like online and stuff. And it's really it's really easy to do that stuff because you're anonymous. You can harass people and you can bully people, and they bullied him, and it just, I don't know. It felt like he was getting pushed over the edge, and then I haven't spoken to him in a few weeks, so I didn't really know. Like, he never mentioned to me that I'm going to go kill people, because obviously I would have said something, but like, I don't know, it's just it's very.
Did you ever talk about his job?
He just seemed frustrated that he wasn't moving forward as quickly as he would have liked to. It was more like he was staying in a straight line instead of moving up, and that seemed to really frustrate him because he seemed passionate about his job. Like I said, he got involved with Gamergate, which is journalism ethics and all that stuff. So he was very passionate about being a journalist, and we usually just talked through the in-game chat. Like, we didn't get on Skype, or we just talked through through in-game voice communications. Like you press a button and, you know, he hears me and back and forth. And, you know, it was fun. He just seemed like as time went on, he progressively became angrier and angrier. And, you know, like I said, the guy, Sam Hyde, you can look up his name, $1 Million Extreme MDE. They have like a YouTube channel and a Twitter account. And they were really just heavily involved in just pushing an already unstable, you know, individual over the edge, which is pretty scary, you know, to think about, because you see what happens. I knew some of his background. He didn't open up a whole lot. Just, you know, on occasion, you know, he talked about his old job and stuff like that. And then I saw it, and I was like, in the back of my head, I recognized a couple of the names, and I was like, where do I know this from? Like, where? Because, like, you know, when people talk about their coworkers, you don't remember their names. You don't really pay that, you know. And so then I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then I think I saw the name Bryce, or I think it was when I saw his Twitter that it really clicked with me, like, holy crap. Like, I play games with this guy. I knew this guy, and he just killed people. And it's just mind-blowing. What I thought was really weird is that the gun he used in the shooting was a gun from the game. So, like, the Glock that he used is a Glock. It looks exactly like the Glock from the game. Like, if you go to Google and you type in Glock CSGO or Glock Counter-Strike Global Offensive, they're the same weapon. So that may have played a part in, you know, which is crazy. But when I saw it, I was like, holy crap, you know, that's